Hello and Swaddy Cup, it's Ricky and Isaan here. Today we're in Nakhon Ratchasima city, also known as Korat city, and we're going to do a bit of a city tour on a bicycle. So we're in the old city at the moment, which is surrounded by the old moats. This old city is very old. It at least goes back to the 12th, 13th century. Korat was originally the border between Siam, which is now Thailand, and Laos. So I got the bike over there. We're going to do a bit of a city tour of the attractions here in Korat city. Korat city in 2022 has an estimated population of 450,000 people, making it the third biggest city in Thailand, just behind Chiang Mai and Bangkok. I believe this is part of the old wall. And over here we have some of the old wall that remains in place. I'm out here in Korat city today just picking up my stamp for my visa. It's roughly 2 hours from where I live, and it is a huge city compared to what I'm living in a little village. Can we go inside here? Well, there's someone having a sleep inside, so I won't go in there and annoy them. We're going to head up, see the old, well, I believe it's been remade, the city gate up in the town centre, and the Ya monument. So we'll get on the bike and we'll start the city tour. Alright, so we're on the bike now heading through the old city that follows the moat, and we're going to head up towards this city square which has the city gate as well as the Ya monument, who is a very famous figure here. I actually expected the roads to be a bit busier, but maybe just this city centre area is not too bad. As you'd expect, Korat city is full of restaurants, bars, nightlife, basically anything you need, malls. Probably got one of the biggest malls I've ever been to in my life here, which I'll be going to later in the video. But I'll definitely have to be extra diligent here on my bike today, as I'm not riding out in the village anymore. I'm riding in the third biggest city in Thailand. So we're at one of the city gates here, but it's way too busy to stop here and have a look. I don't know if you can see that tower in the distance. That is Terminal 21. Probably be hard to see. Terminal 21, I'll be doing a bit of a shot of the mall later in this video, is the same size as Chadstone Shopping Centre, which is the biggest shopping centre in the Southern Hemisphere. So we're out here in the country and you've got a shopping mall the same size as Chadstone. But I'll be going inside the mall to get some lunch later, and the mall is 100,000 square metres bigger than Chadstone. Out here in the country, that just shows you how big some of the malls are here in Thailand. The city of Korat is full of plenty of expats, so you've got all your foods, plenty of Italian restaurants, plenty of British restaurants, there'll be Aussie bars, everything you need here. And that's why I hate coming here, because when I go to immigration, it's always such a long process. especially after a 2-hour drive. We got a little bit of a dance on the right there. This is the skate park, I believe. You might have copped a glimpse of the tower just a moment ago. So the skate park's not getting much action. It's probably the first skate park I've seen in Thailand. And we've got a temple here, Wat Pa Yup, which I believe Korat has more temples than anywhere else in Thailand besides Chiang Mai. So there's a lot of temples. And right here is the city centre. We'll do a dodgy here and go to the city gate there first once we get through this traffic. We've got an old rickshaw or tricycle coming through there. Let's have a look. So this is the city square or the city centre. Got the TK Square Korat Hotel over there. And this is the old Korat city gate that's been rebuilt to mimic what it was in the 14th century. I believe this is the main highway, Mittaprat Highway, which I always struggle to say. Leads from Bangkok all the way to Nong Khai. And of course, we've got a display of the late king and a display of the current king over here on this side. I like the garden work here. We've got a nice little elephant. But this was the place of the original city gate, back when they were battling with the Lao. We're just heading up the stairs, see what we can see up here. I just like to think of the history of this little gate here. There would have been watchmen up here once upon a time looking over the fields, I'm assuming outside the village, outside the city. Warning of potential invasions. Can I go in here? Power cables absolutely everywhere. Don't really want to step on these. Over across this moat pond, we're going to have a look at the Yamo Monument. Just to put things into perspective, I went all the way up that tower then, and I didn't even think about my bike. That's something I would not do back in my home country, just leave my bike like that. We'll get back on the bike though and we'll have a look at this monument. See if I can stick to this path. I've picked one of the better days to do this tour. It's only getting to about 27 degrees today. It's been absolutely freezing in the mornings. As low as 13 degrees. Street vendor. Let's get up here. So this is the city square. A few more people around than usual for city squares like this during the day in Thailand. Got a nice monument there. That would be old school military. And I'm talking 600, 700 years ago old school. So there is parking here if you can find a spot. I've just picked one of the side roads along the moat where it's pretty quiet. And I found that little nice park that I started in. It looks like we've got some military personnel here. There is a huge military presence here in Korat with an Air Force and a military army base. I believe one or the other of the military bases was originally founded by the Japanese in World War II and later taken over by America during the Vietnam War. So it looks like we've got another old city gate here. So the city would have been on that side and this would have been the outside. We're sort of running along the moat. Let's park the bike up here and have a look. So this is the Champon Gate, which was only constructed 350 years ago. So it's not super old, that one, but that is the original gate. And then up here we've got the Yamo Monument. She was vital in defeating the Lao back in the 14th century. And a lot of people paying their blessings. I'll try not to get in their way. All right, that's the Yamo Monument and the city gates. We're going to continue on the tour to the next place. So now we're just heading 2Ks in this direction towards Nakhon Ratchasima's train station. Got a little market here on the right. That's a wet market, all your fruits and vegetables and meats. Plenty of gold shops everywhere. All right, so we're just pulling in near Korat train station now, and it looks like there's a train either at the station or about to arrive. The train line obviously goes from Bangkok all the way to Nong Khai, and I believe there's also a transfer, possibly at Korat station, to go to Ubon Ratchathani. I'm not sure about the other direction towards Chai Phum sort of way. And they're building the high-speed rail, which is going to come right through here as an elevated railway line. There we are, the train's just taken off. That's a passenger train. unfortunately won't get a glimpse of it. But the high-speed rail will connect to Laos and China, and you'll be able to take that all the way to China if you want to. That will be coming through the station near our area, Boye. So it'd be a potential high-speed option, depending how long it takes and the costs for me to get to and from Bangkok once it's complete, which I think is still a while off. It'll also be good to get to Nong Khai, right on the border there with Laos. I believe the current train is actually quicker than driving to go to Nong Khai, an hour quicker from where I live anyway. So here we go. Let's have a look at the train station. We've got some commercial trains over there. People selling food. I believe this is all going to get torn down. And we've got a old locomotive over here. So according to the sign at the front here, the train is nearly 100 years old. It was built in the year 2471 for the Thai years, which is now 2566. So another 5 years and this train's 100 years old. It's now obviously out of operation and stored here at the front of the Korat train station, which will be going through a major transformation with this high-speed rail. Which it is going to be elevated. I was expecting to see pylons in the middle by now, but no signs of the high-speed rail so far. But that's the Korat train station. We'll continue on to the next side of this city. All right, we've got quite a nice looking park here on the left-hand side. If I can just get inside. Got a fitness centre, youth centre, TK Square Korat, an extreme sport field. Don't know what extreme sports we're doing out here, and it's got a cycling path that goes right around it. This is the Pumrak. This is the Pumrak Park that we're going to do a quick cycle around. Doesn't actually say you can cycle here, but as most parks in Thailand, there's absolutely no one there in the middle of the day. You come here at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the evening and it will be chockers. Busy, for those who don't know what chockers means. So we've got basketball courts here, we've got a playground, volleyball fields, soccer fields. Actually quite a nice complex. We've got a lake or a pond. You can hear a train there. I don't know if that picked up on the mic. We've got a big industrial train going past aboard the shipping containers, potentially coming from China. It's heading towards Bangkok anyway. So next to the playground, we've got some gym equipment, the classic sort of Thai outdoor gym equipment that's not really that useful, but it's good for a bit of exercise, I guess, if you just want to get a bit active. A nice little bridge. So this would be very busy as the sun's going down, especially with all the food options around. Yeah, look at all these food stalls. This would be a bit of a street food market here at night. Easy. It's not a huge park, but that is a great little sort of active spot if you're staying in or living in Korat. We'll continue on now to Save One Market.